Hello folks, this is Johnny again, and today is a video for all you people who are on a very tight budget and who work mostly just with amp simulators and you just want to jam, but you have the problem that every time you just want to play around, you need to open up your DAW and open up your template. And depending on the DAW and depending on the template, that may take up to a whole minute. And it's kind of annoying and tedious. You just want to do it like a real amp. Push the button and you're ready to go. And sadly, most amp simulators do not come with a standalone version, which is one of the reasons I absolutely love TH3. The standalone version is very well thought through and just the idea is really cool. But anyways, this is not about TH3. Now, what do you do if your plugin doesn't have a standalone version and you just want to open up a program and you're ready to go? You just want to jam. Well, I found this little program here. It's called VSTHost. It's free. Just Google it. You will immediately find it and you can download it from a website that looks like it was made in 1998. And it also looks like it, but it works, okay? It works. And today I just want to show you a little bit how you can work with this and how you can build your signal chains just for the purpose of jamming around. And a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by anybody. This is really just an idea I had and I wanted to share it with everybody else who may benefit from it. So once you download this program, it's actually just a compressed file, a zip or a RAR, one of the two. And you don't need to install it. You just unpack the file wherever you want, and in there you will find the execution file for the program and you're ready to go. And this is what it looks like when you open it up. Now, for whatever reason, it's in German for me, and I haven't quite figured out yet how to switch it to English, but it's not really a big deal. When you first start it up, nothing is set up. You need to set up your audio interface in here and whatever. So you go to devices and you go to wave. And then here on the output, you pick your ASIO driver from your audio interface. So for me, that would be the Studio USB ASIO. That's my Studio 68 from PreSonus. So don't use DS or MME, just use the ASIO driver and that's already good to go. And you need to change the buffer size here within the program. You can't change it in here in the ASIO control panel because the program actually kind of superimposes it. So just change it here. I have it set to 32. Let's turn it to 16. Usually everything still works perfectly fine for me when I set it to 16. Okay, and then what you need to do is go to ASIO channel thingy down here. I don't know what it's supposed to say in English. Anyways, here at the bottom you can then choose what channels you want to set as an input and what you want to set as an output. So here at the input, I would recommend just choose the channel that your guitar is actually plugged into. Otherwise, or if you have a microphone connected to another input and that one is also activated, then the signal from the microphone is going to be sent through the whole signal chain here. And you don't want that. We just want to have the guitar, nothing else. So sadly, this doesn't let you choose just one input. It always sets it to stereo inputs. So I only can choose input 1 and 2. But on my input 2, I have nothing connected. So this is fine. Then output, for my setup, I need to set it up to the SPDIF. For you, it will most likely be enough if you just use your main output. Okay, and now you can already see here we have the input block. Let's call them blocks, okay? So this is not like your usual signal chain in your DAW where you just have one effect and the next effect and the next effect. All these individual effects are represented by these blocks, and you can set the inputs and outputs and round everything however you like. Here we have the input block, and you can see here this little meter, it's receiving signal. That's good. But we don't hear it yet because it's not connected to the output block. And in order to connect this, we need to click on this little chain icon up here on the output block and say, okay, you are now receiving signal from the input block. And bam, there we have it. But of course we don't want to have the dry signal, so let's unclick that. Okay, now in order to input or to load any plugin, let's go to this little plugin symbol here. And it automatically sends you to your VST plugins folder. And in here now you have everything available, and you can choose whatever you like. Let's go, for starters, here with Mercurial SS11X. This one doesn't come with a standalone version, of course, and I just want to jam it, so let's load it up. And you can see it automatically connects the input block and the output block, so the SS11X is in chain, in series. This is just the clean signal. It's not the DI, that's actually already processed. So let's click on this little button here that has this little kind of knob fader, and it opens up the plugin. And now we can play around with it. Okay, splendid. Now, if you want to save this chain, this is pretty important. Go to Performance and make sure all of these in here are checked, especially autosave plugin banks. If that is not checked, then the plugin chain will be saved, but not the settings within the plugins. And that will be problematic. So make sure that one is checked so the settings are also saved inside this whole chain. And now let's go to Performance and say Save As. And now here you can save it into your list and give it a name. Let's call this, yeah, as you can see, I already fiddled around with it a little bit. So let's call this VSTHost, blah, blah, blah. And now you have it over here. Weirdly enough though, somehow this program doesn't save the settings for this particular plugin. So when I go to something else now, as you can see, it still takes a little bit of time to load stuff up. And now I'll go back to this. It's back to the dry signal. But somehow that's only for this plugin, everything else seems to work. So let's try something else. Get rid of this again. Click the plugin. Let's see. Let's just go with the Fortiori nameless suit. So I'm still within the trial time of this plugin. You know what? Let me dial in the tone that I kind of liked in this one. This one down, this one up, and a little bit of this one again. Okay, now let's say you want to add some other plugins to the chain. For example, an impulse response or an impulse response loader. Let's turn off the cabin here. So you just turn off both mics. Yeah, nicely disgusting. Let's click this icon again. The add plugin icon. Let's just go with TH3. And as you can see, by default, it just loads up the plugins between the input and output block. But we don't want that. We want this to be behind the nameless suite in chain. So now on this TH3 block, we click this little chain icon again and say you are not going to get the signal from the input block, but you're going to get the signal from the Fortiori nameless suite. And bam, there it is. And now we need to go to the output block, click the chain, and say you are not going to get the signal from Fortiori nameless directly, but you're getting it from TH3. And there we go. And now in here, we can do whatever else. And I already saved a bank just for this. Wait. So I saved the bank as cap post chain. And there we go. Now it loaded up an own hammer impulse, the post EQ. Now let's say we actually have an end that sounds quite muffled. Something like this, and we want to put some kind of a booster pedal in front of it. It's same procedure again. Let's take wait, let me see, what do I have here? Do I actually have anything in here? Yeah, Greed Smasher. Let's go with this one. It's also by Mercurial. And again, we need to set the chain. Now we want the Greed Smasher to be in front of the nameless suite. So we go to the nameless suite and say you will not get the signal directly from the input block, but you will get it from Greed Smasher. There you go. And now we still need to go to the output block and say you are not going to get the sound from Greed Smasher, but only from TH3. And there we go. We can load this up. Okay, and now if you wanna, let's add something else. Let's add another amp plugin. So we can compare a little bit if we wanted to. Let's just go with TH3. Okay. Now I want this to be in the same position, or I want it to be in parallel to the Fortiori actually. I also wanted to get signal from the Greed Smasher, so let's do that. Okay. And I wanted to go to TH3 back here. Oops, no, that was wrong. That was wrong now. Like this. Okay. And now back here, this only gets from the first TH3. Like this. So now, this one. Now you see we are getting both signals through. So this is just your standard parallel chain. And now this bottom right speaker completely mutes that signal chain. So now we only have the signal going through TH3 down here. Now let's open this up. Let's go, for example, with the 5150. Okay, you know what? Let's not use this. Yes, let's use something else. Let's use TH3 again. Wait, we can also give this a different name. Let's call this pre-chain. So in here, it's a little bit easier to follow the stuff. Okay. This one goes away. Okay, let's call this post-chain. Good. And now in here, I want to use noise gate. And let's go with the Proco Rats, one of my favorites. Okay, hang on. Okay. Yeah. And now I can mute this signal and turn on Fortin again. Let's go back in here. Down here, I could also use equalizer. And yeah, I'm using TH3 now most of the time because it doesn't make any sense, but TH3 just has so much available, it's easier to demonstrate how you could do stuff. You could do all of this in separate plugins and just put them into the chain. Okay, and that's basically all I wanted to show you. So as I said, you could use any plugin you wanted to in here now, as long as, I'm not sure if this thing supports VST3 or AAX. You can try it out. I mean, it's for free. There's nothing you have to lose. So that's just something I wanted to show you. You can do this if you just want to jam. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's save this again. Then when I turn this off and back on, this will load up again as it is. And you can just go. So of course you could use some, I don't know, some free noise gate and some free booster pedal and the free amp sim and the free impulse loader and free impulses and whatnot, just so you don't have to open up your DAW and open up your template every time you just want to jam. I thought this is actually kind of a nice idea. Okay, and that's it for this video. I hope I could show you something, give you some nice pointers, and I shall see you next time.